WAOV News Center. I'm Tom Lee reporting. The Knox County Commissioners have signed a bridge inspection agreement for the next 4 years at a reduced cost. The agreement with RQAW for the years 2021 to 2025. The new inspection contract, $58,000 less than the one signed in 2017. The bridge inspection contract fulfills a federal mandate requiring bridges to be inspected for defects every 4 years. All area counties have reached blue status in the latest report from the Indiana State Department of Health. That means a continued cautious reopening of various activities suspended during the COVID-19 pandemic statewide. All Indiana counties are either in blue or yellow status at this point. The doses of the new Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine will soon be in local health department hands and in the public's arms. The vaccine was just recently approved. It should be available statewide now in the days to come. The vaccine right now available to those age 50 and above. The 97.7 WAOV forecast from the George and Sloan Financial Advisor. Edward Jones Weather Center, sunny today. High near 56. Clear tonight, low 29. Tomorrow sunny, high near 49. Then for Saturday, sunny, high 48, 54. Sunday, 61 on Monday. It's your Knox County friends and neighbors in Knox County Today. Weekday mornings at 10, it's Knox County Today on 97.7 WAOV.
And the news and views. I'm Jeff.
Dave here.
I'm Patrick.
Time now for that regularly scheduled segment of the program known as
Least Competent Criminals.
Thank you. I have gone into the archives and I've dug out two of my favorites from the past. And you may have heard these, and I apologize. But it's what we call smash and grab, where criminals just either smash the window, grab something, and run. And when we are least competent criminals, here's the problem. William Dixon, age 21, went into a Best Buy store in Brentwood, Tennessee, grabbed something, and ran out the door until he ran into a tree, ended in his arrest. And if you think that's dumb, in October, an unnamed man went into a supermarket in East Grinstead, England, grabbed a bottle of wine, and dashed for the door. However, he knocked himself unconscious on a nearby shelf. One more recent, not from the archives. Oklahoma, woman at home with two children in Tulsa. They hear someone breaking in. And as someone removes the screen window, comes in through the window, but doesn't take anything and is not caught. So far, not least competent. But what they left behind was a bag of Cheetos and a bottle of water. Sharon Carr was arrested because she had Cheetos on her teeth.
That's just out of the commercial. Not me. Ahead of the Super Bowl.
Those are this week's
Least Competent Criminals.
Now, I will say this. They arrested her just because she had Cheetos on her teeth?
Oh, you're looking for a client, right?
No, I mean...
He's wondering if she still has Cheetos.
I'm just saying, does she still have the Cheetos? And, I mean, how do you arrest someone just because they have Cheetos?
Well, ideally, they'll be able to get DNA off her water bottle and the chips she left.
I would hope that that's something that was taken into account. But you never know. It was in Oklahoma, so.
Indiana's doing great on COVID-19 shots, and I think starting now there are three choices: Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson.
Johnson & Johnson.
And I've heard of people in other states who can't get appointments, can't be driving all over Florida, people coming from Florida up here if they're snowbirds to get their shots. Now, Florida, part of the problem may be, according to this story, a wealthy Florida Keys community in the Florida Keys down south there received vaccines before most of the state. So it got shipped down to the Florida Keys. And then a month later, one of the residents sent the governor $250,000. So you might say that this person or persons tried to influence Governor Ron DeSantis about his COVID placement, but I'm sure it was an unrelated political donation, had nothing to do with early access. Its Ocean Reef Club in Key Largo had vaccinated nearly all of its 65 and over residents, according to a January 22nd email received by the Herald newspaper. And they were saying, gee, we're fortunate enough to have received enough to, inoculate everybody. So that's kind of, we have to talk about now these days vaccine inequality and whether or not it's being passed out in a responsible manner. The Knox County Board of Health has told me that they have to follow the state guidelines, or the state says you're out of compliance and you get no more vaccine. So they're being very strict on the age limits, and which is open up to who?
50 plus right now, isn't it?
It is.
55.
No, they just lowered it again. 50.
All right.
So you're one of them rich guys that already got your 2 shots. You don't really follow that anymore, do you?
Speaking of, Scott says he got his today. Congratulations, Scott.
Congratulations, Scott.
Hey, guess what?
Group of clean people.
Yeah, well, to kind of add on to that COVID talk, did you guys see where the Kentucky State Senate voted 36-0 to allow high school seniors to play another year of sports?
No, I.
Sounds like a Kentucky rule.
Oh yeah. They passed the bill 36-0, allowing high school seniors to stay for another year of school and play sports.
Aren't most of the seniors already 20?
Super seniors, as we like to call them. Yes, I don't know, but that's an outrageous. They have to be. Let's see. They have allowing seniors the option of returning for a fifth year, including playing sports if they are 18 or younger on August 1st, 2021.
All right. Congress right now debating the COVID-19 relief bill, maybe $2 trillion worth of goodies. Part of the $2 trillion, according to some critics, are bailouts from what's called blue states, New York and California. But California may not need it. Believe it or not, despite having lost over 1.6 million jobs in California, California, as of July 1, will be sitting on a $19 billion surplus. This is due to the fact that they have very high income taxes. They tax capital gains at normal income tax rates. And the stock market has been soaring. And a lot of the tech companies, of course, are there in California. So you may be asked, might be a good question to say, do they really need the bailout from the federal government if they've got a $19 billion surplus?
You folks been following this? It's a new program called Deep Nostalgia, and they take old photographs and using artificial intelligence animate these pictures, and it's cool and creepy simultaneously. Where, for example, they've done one for Frederick Douglass. I'm reading his biography right now, and he looks alive and he turns and blinks his eyes, and he's only been dead since 1895. An artificial intelligence program from genealogy platform MyHeritage helps do that. So if you have some old pictures you want to animate, you might give that a try. I'm not sure what the cost is. Or if you're more modern, you could use your phone and take a video.
We previously did the story about the Governor Newsom's rule in California. We basically banned more church meetings, even though the number of people gathered may be less than what were allowed in non-church facilities. That order got struck down by the United States Supreme Court in South Bay United Pentecostal Church versus Newsom. Well, apparently California hadn't learned the lesson. It still bans meetings, indoor meetings, and as a result, the churches returned once again to the Supreme Court. And by 6-3, the Supreme Court reversed the ban. Now, there will still be hearings on whether or not the overall order of the governor is legal. But as for the immediate ban on indoor church gatherings, the Supreme Court has once again said, hey, read the prior opinion and you might understand what we're trying to tell you.
Oh,
Jump in there anywhere, Patrick.
Well, I mean, it's interesting to see. We'll be able to see here what Florida, Mississippi, and Texas are going in one direction in terms of COVID, and then you've got California, New York, kind of continuing to hold steady. So it'll be interesting to see these economies here in April and in May, as well as the numbers of COVID infected or death related. Everything's been going down now. As soon as Texas and Mississippi announced that they would be opening back up without the mask mandate, which I think is a little bit foolish, but nevertheless, as soon as they do that, it seems to me like yesterday every news station was reporting a bump in COVID. So
here's my take on that, and this is apocryphal. The governor announced that businesses could go back to 100% capacity. Funeral homes could open at 150% capacity. I made that up, to be fair.
I
Thank
see what
you.
you did there, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
We'll take our third break here on Legal News and Views, 97.7 FM, WAOV. You can give us a call now, 812 80 and we'll be back with what you want to know after.
I am Paul Knighty, Commissioner.
Knox County Today here on 97.7 FM WAOV. This is Ed Ballinger. Join me each weekday morning from 10 until 11:30 a.m. for Knox County Today, the program that talks to community leaders as well as those who are having an event or particular program. Knox County Today, where your friends and neighbors meet. 10 until 11:30 weekday mornings here on the Talk in the Town, 97.7 FM WAOV.
And for that, Legal News and Views, I'm Jeff.
I'm Dave.
No, I'm Patrick.
Hey, I have a quick story which will, I'm sure, appeal to Patrick. During the COVID, there's
Why
some
not
very-
Jeff? Why not for everybody?
the
Why not for our
old-
listeners?
He doesn't
No,
care.
it's mostly for you. The Hershey Company announced Tuesday it's rolling out a version of its popular Reese's Peanut Butter Cups with no chocolate. It's all peanut butter all the time. So that's what COVID gets you. Thinking outside the box.
Isn't that Jif instead of Reese?
Exactly. You could get little Reese's Cup molds and make your own.
That's ridiculous. You gotta have chocolate. Too much peanut butter. Moving on.
Anita Gail Moody has been president of the Texas Bank for some time. In 2012, she began a scheme of loans to fake borrowers and other ways to transmit over the period of time $11 million from the bank to herself and to her family. The reason she got caught is that when the auditors showed up, the day before they showed up, there was a big fire in the boardroom of the bank, and it, by golly, it only had the files in it that were fake files. She has pled guilty, admitted that she did money. She said she'll pay back the $11 million. Good luck on that. And even another woman who was vice president got 2 years out of the deal.
Amazon back in the news. Apparently, they quietly changed their app icon photo after they were getting complaints. It's a box with some blue stuff on it. The first one has the Zoom image or the Amazon thing. The top was like a piece of cut tape at the top, and they've changed that to look more like a piece of ribbon that's turned up at one corner because, according to some critics, the app looked like an Adolf Hitler mustache. So it's completely innocent, and you would have to be of a certain age to make that connection to begin with. But being hypersensitive, they updated the logo.
Love it.
And it went out worldwide recently.
Well, speaking of, our large monopoly companies, our Fortune 500s, leading the world in their ethical values. Have you guys heard about the story with the VP of North America Nike? You
I
guys
have
hear
not.
about that one this week? Well, let's just say this: she was the VP of the North American sales for Nike, and her son, who lives in I believe California, had a store called West Coast Footwear or Outerwear or something like that, some kind of name. Well, he was using his mother's corporate card to get the discount on the Nike, uh, the Nike store, and was buying up all of these shoes at before most people could get them, and then he was turning around and reselling these shoes at pretty much double the price. And this one this one instance was around $20,000 worth, but he's been doing it for a couple years. This just now came out, so you'd think that Nike would have, I don't know, red flagged this issue. But now that it's in the news, the VP steps down, as she did voluntarily, because Nike had just now found out that they were fixing the secondary market. So interesting stuff there for our morally ethical Fortune 500 companies.
Isn't that the same mentality where people buy up all the concert tickets in bulk
Yeah,
and resell them?
exactly. But let's just say that all the concert tickets are being sold. Let's say John Bon Jovi's kid, Jesse, my friend from college. Pretty cool, right? No, I'm just kidding. But let's say he buys all of his dad's tickets and then resells them for 2 times the amount, and then gives all of his money to his dad and keeps,
Okay,
50%.
I'm gonna screw you now. This is called capitalism, and you're all about ethics. This
But
is capitalism, baby.
that's unethical, and it's fixing the market. But anyways, continue.
Here's another teaching point. The market is fixed. It has always been fixed.
Whatever. We can argue about it all you want.
And you want it broken.
Jason Ravensborg is the Attorney General of South Dakota, highly elected official. Went to a GOP Republican fundraiser at
Impeach him.
Rooster Bar and Grill about 10:30 p.m. Driving his Taurus down the highway. He thought according to his story, hit a deer. Drove home, and that's when he was arrested. Thank God he had hit Joseph Bover, 55-year-old, killing him. They have a video of the interview with Jason Ravensborg. And as they're talking to him, they said, we found a pair of glasses in the floorboard of the passenger side of your vehicle. To which he said, you did? Whose are they? Well, they belong to the guy he hit. The guy he hit went through the windshield and deposited his glasses inside the car on an incident that Ravensborg said, I thought I hit a deer. Deer don't wear glasses, Jason, so I don't think he's going to be Attorney General of South Dakota long. He's been charged with 3 counts of careless driving, operating a motor vehicle while using a mobile electronic device, and veering out of his lane.
They also, in that story came out, they don't really suspect that alcohol was involved necessarily, just inattention.
Right.
I didn't realize that this person was actually inside the vehicle, so he finished his drive home with a gaping hole in his windshield, or like some of the old TV shows I've seen where he actually has to stop, remove the body. We've talked about this on the show, Jeff, where they drive home and they put their car in the garage with the pedestrian still sticking out of their windshield.
In the category, El Chapo, Joaquin Guzman, head of the cartel in Mexico, currently serving a long prison term in the United States. He was married to a South American beauty queen who has just now been arrested by American authorities for drug trafficking as well, and carrying the orders from El Chapo from prison to his followers in the cartel. And that's kind of, again, like it's like picking fruit off of a tree, low-hanging fruit. It strikes me that somebody should have been watching there anyway.
This is an update from last week. Hasbro has decided not to remove the name Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. They reversed that decision. They're dropping. They're going to call the brand the Potato Head brand, and but those designations, gender designations, at least for now, will remain. We've got important stuff going on, and renaming plastic toys does not seem to be near the top of the list, or banning children's books.
Yes, it's important.
Well,
It's capitalism.
no, this is anti-capitalism.
I'm just kidding.
Completely anti-capitalism.
Caviar are fish eggs from a specific fish, the sturgeon. And in Wisconsin, they do
Like a sturgeon.
have a sturgeon, and they have a gentleman named Ryan Koenig, who is known as the Sturgeon General of Wisconsin, based on his knowledge, his expertise, and the authority he has in scientific studies of the fish eggs. Well, it turns out that Koenig had a little side business going on. He would receive fish eggs from sturgeon for study, and he would sell them to people making caviar. He has since resigned from his position and is facing theft and penalty charges, 9 months in prison, and $10,000 in fine.
Speaking of capitalism, this company in England charges 60 pounds a bottle, and it's an empty bottle. They claim it's fresh air from an unspoiled place in their country. And you don't really know what's in there or if they really extract it from there.
How can they when there is no such place?
Well, they can sell that as long as their son doesn't get to the bottle first and then sell it for $120.
Capitalism, baby.
Rooster fighting, or also known as cockfighting, is illegal in the United States and in India. Many reasons for that, besides cruelty to the animals, one of which could be the fact that happened in India. The rooster had a 3-inch razor blade tied to its head to help it in the fight. The owner picked the rooster up, and the rooster cut his groin,
No.
killing the owner.
Must have hit an artery.
There are some major artery damage.
That's for the birds.
That's foul.
Oh,
Ooh.
back to you, Jeff. Ball's in your court.
Let's go with an Indianapolis story. Fred Farmer, age 58, disappeared November of 2019. Now, typically, it's hard to charge murder unless you have a body, but the Indianapolis police have charged his son, age 36, with dad's death, even though they don't have a body. Jeremy cleaned out his dad's bank account, used his truck and credit cards, and sent fake texts full of emojis, which everybody else said Fred doesn't know how to use emojis, claiming they were from Fred. Police hope that the rest and the information will lead to more.
Well, producer says our music's playing, so thanks for listening to Legal News and Views. I'm Dave. You're Jeff. You're Patrick. 97.7 FM. We're also live streaming on Facebook, but I only have Scott's word for that. Tune in next week. Any final words, Patrick, about capitalism?
I love capitalism, but I don't like fraudsters.
97.7 and
Nor do
1450
I.
AM, WAOV Vincennes. News next from the Metronet of Vincennes, 100% fiber, WAOV News Center.
Fox News.